Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Be Well, Be Keto. And on today's show, we have Brooke Ware, aka Brooke Keto. And do you know that this girl lost 132 pounds in 19 months? That is absolutely nuts. And I can't wait for you to meet her. So let's go say hi to Brooke. Will you please do us a favor and head on over to iTunes, give us a rating and review. And also, if you'd like to be a guest on the show, please just contact me at tracy@highenergygirl.com. That's Tracy with 2 E's. Thank you.
Welcome to the Be Well, Be Keto podcast, where we showcase ordinary people who have achieved extraordinary results. Your host is the high energy girl, health coach, and personal trainer, Tracy Gluhite.
Hey beautiful, my name is Tracy and I'm a health coach and personal trainer and founder of highenergygirl.com. My passion is to help women become high energy, fat burning phenoms without starving to death and spending hours in the gym. So are you exhausted from the crazy holidays and maybe feeling a little bit of fluffy? Well, guess what? You are in luck because I put together a high energy transformation guide and it is completely free. And it's going to help you boost your energy, banish brain fog, build a little muscle, and burn off that belly fat. Okay, so here's what is in the guide. First off, it starts with mindset, because let's face it, your body can do it. It's your mind you have to convince. Next, we have food. There are 3 phases of the food plan to help you heal your body and create a fat burning machine. It is awesome, trust me. Also, fitness. We have components for both the home and the gym, beginning, intermediate, and advanced, because if you want to age stronger, then you need to move. And lastly, and most important, is self-care, because let's face it, we women are so crazy busy taking care of everybody else, our homes, our jobs, our families, that we don't take time for ourselves. And even on the airplane, the flight attendant says to put your oxygen mask on first. So grab this free guide, 21 days, high energy transformation. Just click on the link below and that will show up in your inbox right away. Have you joined the Facebook group yet? I have a new Facebook group called High Energy Girls, and that is pretty much where I'm hanging out these days, and I would love to have you a part of the group. So head on over to High Energy Girls on Facebook. Hey, Brooke, thanks for coming on the show today.
Hey, thanks for having me.
I am super excited to have you because I know that you have quite a story to share with us.
I do. It's been quite a journey, but I'm excited to share it.
Awesome. So why don't you give us a little overview of who Brooke is?
Okay, so my name is Brooke. I'm 31. I live just outside Detroit. I'm a teacher, and I have struggled with my weight my entire life. So when I say this has been a journey, I mean it's been a long journey, because I went on my first diet when I was in 8th grade. So I've been trying to find something that works for me forever. And until I found keto, the keto lifestyle, because I don't like to call it a diet. It's a lifestyle at this point. And that's the only thing that I've had things that work, but this is what's worked and stuck.
Yeah. So how long did you start it and how'd you find it?
Okay. So, I started June 12th. Of 2017. So on the 12th of this month, so this month will be 19 months. So I've been doing it about a year and a half.
Okay.
And then I found it. I don't remember exactly how I heard about it, but I remember looking up some research and finding some stuff online, and I thought that it sounded like something that I could do, but I think that maybe I just wasn't kind of ready to take that step yet. So I think another about 4 to 6 months went by before I actually really decided to start. Mm-hmm. And I had my 30th birthday approaching, and I was like, I can't go into my 30s the same way I lived my 20s, because 340 pounds. I didn't want to be 300 pounds when I went into my 30s. So my big goal was to get under 300 pounds before I turned 30. My birthday is August 31st. So I started June 12th, and the day I turned 30, I hit 299. Like, it was like 299.6 or 299.8 pounds, like, that day.
Wow.
So
Power of intention.
Yeah, it was like tears of joy.
That is the total power of intention, right?
Yes, absolutely.
That's
absolutely.
Awesome.
It was like, it was for me. I know there's some people who kind of ease into it. For me, it was like, this is something I have to do now. I don't have a choice. I'm 340 pounds. I'm 5'1.5". Like, I don't have a choice anymore. I have to get my stuff together.
Now, did you have your baby at the time?
So I have 2 kids. So I have a 4-year-old and I have a 2-year-old. And I've gained and I've lost weight several times. Uh-huh. This is my 3rd time losing a significant amount of weight. And like when I gained it back and then some. So each time I gained more weight. And when I was pregnant, I went from when I was pregnant with my son, he's 4 now. And I weighed about 212 pounds which is about right around where I weigh. I weigh a little under that now. But that's what I was when I found out that I was pregnant with him, and I got up to close to 300 pounds after that pregnancy was all said and done. And then I lost a little weight. I started doing gluten-free for a while. And I started losing some weight. I think I lost about like 30 pounds. And then I found out I was pregnant with my daughter. And then I gained way back. I went from being about 280 when I got pregnant with her to about 313-ish, I think, after I had her. And then I put on more weight after my pregnancy and got up to 340. My daughter, I think, she would have been, about a year or so old when I started keto.
So why do you think that was happening to you?
Like the gaining and losing of weight over and over, the same pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, for me, I think, keto is so different than anything else I've ever done. Keto, for me, it's like, I've always been an emotional eater. I've been a binge eater. Keto has helped me battle that. Mm-hmm. Keto has helped me find balance in my life with food, which I've never had. That, and for me, keto, I looked at a food list of keto and I said, oh, I can have bacon. Oh, I can have cheese, because I found paleo before I found keto, and I saw that paleo you can't have cheese, and I closed out of my browser. I'm like, that's not for me, because I need to have cheese in my life. So I saw keto. I was like, I can have cheese, I can have bacon, I can have mayo, I can just take the bun off a burger when I go out and call it a day. Like, it just, for me, that's always the things that I've always craved, but I've always been told, oh, you shouldn't have that. You need to eat chicken breasts and broccoli every night to lose weight.
Oh, yeah. Meals. Oh, yeah.
So it was a lifestyle for me that fit. And then I think the mindset shift has been huge for me. Mm-hmm. Is that before I looked at it as losing weight. And then this has kind of been more of a journey of like self-love. And I kind of approached it this time with a different mindset of being like, keto is completely different than anything I've done ever. And relearning nutrition from what we've been taught was ever what you're supposed to have, I knew was going to be a challenge. And so one thing I did was because I'm a teacher, I have the luxury of having the summer off. I took the summer to relearn food. I used to sit there and say, oh, these people on The Biggest Loser, they lose all that weight, but that's because they're living on a ranch. Anybody who doesn't have to work could maybe do it. And I realized, I was like, I'm a teacher and I have the whole summer and I don't have to do anything to focus on losing weight. So I started a week before I got off of work for the summer, and I said, I'm going to relearn food. I'm not going to focus on anything else but food and nutrition, what I can have, what I can't have. And if I make mistakes, that's okay, because I'm going to have a growth mindset about it. I'm going to learn from my mistakes and even embrace them and say, I'm going to learn from it because I'm going to make tomorrow better than today was. And today is already better than yesterday. So if I learn from something today, or if I make a mistake and I eat something that's maybe not so keto friendly, and then I realized it after I tracked my macros, because I did that in the beginning, that I could just be like, okay, well, I made a mistake. Now I know better tomorrow. Yeah. Instead of dwelling on it and, turning it into like, just falling off the wagon the whole day or the whole weekend.
Yeah, and that is, I totally feel what you're saying, because it's not like you have to white knuckle it on boneless, skinless, tasteless chicken and disgusting steamed broccoli.
Yes, thank you.
And then have gas all night because of stupid broccoli.
Well, I mean, it's crazy because I'm like, I can't. I can't. I've done all the diets. I've done them all. I've, done the HCG diet. I did the Atkins diet. I did all the fad diets. And it was like, nothing worked for a long period. It wasn't a lifestyle. Those were diets. Keto for me, it's not a diet. It started as a diet because for me, it was kind of like a last ditch effort. I was getting ready to do weight loss surgery for the second time. I had weight loss surgery when I was 18, almost 19. Oh. I had a lap band and I had it removed a couple years later because I had so many complications. I was getting sick. I couldn't. What we found out was that my stomach was twisting, and when they would tighten the band, and I couldn't keep anything down, so I was bringing everything back up, and it was awful. It was absolutely awful, and so I had to almost convince my surgeon to remove it, and he wanted me to go further and do a whole rerouting of the intestines and everything for a more invasive surgery. And I know that for some people that works, but for me, it was I think, because I was young. I mean, when I had it removed, I was it was 2009 or 2010. So I would have been 21, 22 years old, and was I think I need to do this on my own. When you can't keep healthy salad down, and I just didn't feel healthy. I was losing hair. And I was I have to be able to be healthy. And this is actually holding me back rather than helping me. Yeah. So, it was rough. It was tough. But so when I started keto, I was considering another weight loss surgery. I was thinking about doing the sleeve. And I had even scheduled an appointment to go see a seminar. And I decided, I was you know what? Maybe I heard about keto a few months back. Maybe I should try keto. Because at least if I'm going to go under the knife and do that again, if I'm going down that road again, I know how awful the first time it was. If I go down that road again, I want to know that I did everything. Yeah. That I tried everything that was out there. And when I saw keto food list, like I said, it perked my interest. I was okay, I think this might be something I could do. So I decided to give it a shot, and it's been honestly life-changing for me. Aww. Life-changing.
That is so cool. And so I'm going to add my 2 cents, which is an opinion. Okay, I don't know if it's real, but this is based on just some experience. What I think it is when a person has a surgery like that, yes, they're not addressing the root cause.
Thank you.
Of why.
I completely agree.
Well, I know so many people who have the surgery and gain it all back anyhow. They'll lose at the beginning and gain it back.
I've heard about that quite a few times.
Yeah, and I think that when a person goes keto, they are adding in fat that their body has been craving for all these years of their roller coaster dieting. And yes, the brain is finally being fed and happy and getting better, more cholesterol and hormone production. And that's my opinion.
That is my personal opinion as well. I completely, wholeheartedly agree. And I really feel like people who start keto and stick with keto and kind of dedicate themselves to getting into ketosis and trying to become fat adapted, that once you start feeling those benefits of being in ketosis, having more energy, the mental clarity, your body just generally feels like it runs better. It's like it's the fuel you've always been missing type thing for me.
Yeah. And I mean,
Yeah.
your hair and your skin and your nails and everything seems healthier.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, completely.
Oh, cool.
I mean, one thing I noticed in the beginning was that I went from being somebody who came home from work and being like, okay, kids, let's, you want to lay down and watch a movie? To being like, okay, this house needs to get in order. I'm going to do this, like within like a week or so. And I said to my husband, I said, I can't believe how much more energy I just feel like I have just from, and I was like, is it from the weight loss? Well, no, I've only lost like 7 or 8 pounds. That can't be it. For me, it was like, once my body got into ketosis, like my whole world changed. I feel like, and for me, the weight loss was what I went into it for. Mm-hmm. But I got so much more out of it than I even expected. Because for me, it was like, I used to procrastinate. I used to be very unorganized. You'd walk into my classroom and my desk would just have piles upon piles of just stuff and just unorganization everywhere. If you walk into my classroom now, my desk is crystal clear. It's crazy. Aww. It's crazy. I went from being somebody who was like unorganized and a procrastinator to be like a go-getter, someone who's more of a leader, and it's like, got things in order. I've taken more leadership roles at work. When I tell you it's been life-changing, it's not just because of weight loss.
Yeah. So tell me more about that. Expand on how it literally changed your life, because that's what I find the most fascinating and the most encouraging to listeners.
It's crazy because it's like I went from being somebody who's always struggled with food. Like I said, emotional binge eater. I used to hide food, when I was in high school, I would go fast food places before I knew dinner was going to be sitting for me on the table when I got home. You know what I mean? I used to hide food. I had such a bad relationship with food that, I used to sit there and go to weight loss seminars, and I even tried out for The Biggest Loser. I tried it all, and it was like once I started keto, things started clicking, and it was like I'd have these moments of like, wow, like this is how we're supposed to live. And like my body feels so much better. I don't feel bloated. Like once in a while when I go to like, things like Thanksgiving, and I might maybe have a little stuffing or something like that, and I feel that feeling of like that bloat again, that is to me one of the most awful feelings. And so, with like everything that I've experienced as far as like work, I feel like I've become a better teacher. I have more energy. I've lost so much, like I'm accomplishing things that I would have never even attempted before. So for me, it's just like, it's been crazy because it's allowed me to, just find myself, I feel like, or not find myself, but recreate myself.
That's so cool. And you're so young. So you have your whole life ahead of you.
I know.
That you can enjoy this. I didn't start keto until I was like 50.
Okay. Yeah, I know. And I really feel fortunate to have found it when I found it. I wish I would have started it when I first heard about it. And I wish that I would have known about it, especially before like my wedding. Because although that was the happiest day of my life, it was also one of those days that, I didn't even try. It was so bad that I was so not ready to lose weight that I didn't even try to lose weight for my wedding. You see girls out there and they just like, what is it? They sweat. I don't know, sweat for the dress or whatever it is they say. But I wasn't one of those people. I just was it was almost like it was so much pressure to try to lose weight or something just to fit into a dress for one day that the idea of failing doing that was so just like scary to me that I didn't even try, because it's almost easier not to try than to fail. So I wish I would have known about it earlier. But I'm glad I found it when I did.
Yeah. What you just said, it's like, it makes me so sad in a way, because I feel like everywhere I look, and it's not for the weight loss thing, it's just for the health perspective.
Yes.
It's everywhere I look, I think people have just settled for their life as it is, settled for the pain and disease. And, my dad has cancer, and he eats sugar all the time.
Yes. Yes, I know. It makes you want to like pull someone's eyelids open and say, "Hey, look at all this. Look at what I'm doing. Look at what the people who are doing keto are having so many results." I mean, like you said, health-wise has been a huge thing for me and my family. My husband is 29, and he was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes a year or two ago. Now it would probably be 2 or 3 years ago. But when we did keto, he was able to reverse his type 2 diabetes with keto. And I was considered pre-diabetic, and I am no longer pre-diabetic. When I used to have completely normal blood pressure. When I, even as a heavy person, I had normal blood pressure. And I gained weight. And with my pregnancy of my daughter, she's 2 now. When I had her, I had to have her early because of preeclampsia, which, is the elevated blood pressure. And after that pregnancy, that didn't go away. Because I was heavy, and then I gained more weight, got up to about 340 pounds. That blood pressure never went down. But once I started keto and I stuck with keto, that all went away. My blood pressure is completely normal now. And, I've been to a few different doctor's appointments. Like I said, I've been doing this 18 months. So I've had a couple different times I've went to the doctors, and they've seen the weight loss, and they've seen my blood work, and they're impressed. And she says, "Keep doing what you're doing. It's working. What are you doing?" "Oh, I'm doing the keto diet. I like the keto diet. Keep doing it." So she's supportive of it, which I love.
Yeah, that's good. I think that more people are becoming open to it in the medical world. And
yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I just hope, like, my mom has Alzheimer's, and she tells me, "Oh, it's just so hard." And I'm like, "Mom, isn't losing your brain harder?"
You're right. Yeah. And it's one of those things that it's like, I wasn't ready for it until I was ready for it. And it's like some people, unfortunately, they're not ready for it. But I think that because I feel like, especially lately, I just feel like I've been seeing it more places and hearing more like buzz around it, that I feel like more people are starting to see the benefits, and more people are starting to see people have those benefits and say, "Hey, I want to do that too." Hearing about people getting off medications and reversing type 2 diabetes and having normal blood pressure and losing hundreds of pounds of weights in a short amount of time. Like,
yeah,
our bodies, I feel like we're meant to be this way, and to feed ourselves this way. And once you start eating that way, I feel like your body rewards you.
Yeah. I know what you're saying, because it will, like, what I'm teaching women right now, because I'm working with women that want to, like, age stronger is kind of my focus. And I said, don't focus on the scale, focus on your well-being and your health. And I believe that the scale will self-adjust.
It does. I know that's one way that kind of I felt like I was going to approach it. It was like, I need to do this to be healthy. Because one thing for me is, when I was getting ready to turn 30, for me, I felt like I was late to the game. Because for me, 28 was the year I had to do this by. Because my dad had his first heart attack when he was 28. So for me, health-wise, being as heavy as I was, and when he had his first heart attack, he was not, an unfit person. He was an average guy at 28 years old with a 1-year-old daughter who's me. And, for me, it was like, that for me was always a year that I had to have this done by. And when I realized I was getting ready to be 30 and still hadn't done it, and in fact was at my absolute highest weight, that it was like, I need to get my life together because I don't know what what genetics have been passed on to me. And for health reasons, and I feel like that's another way I approached it different. Before, I told you I lost weight 2 different times. One was the weight loss surgery, and the second time it was like doing low calorie restriction and a workout. I used to walk almost like 3-4 miles a day and lost a significant amount of weight, but it was always weight loss was the intention. And I feel like this time it was more of a like journey of like, rebuilding myself, and the health is a portion of that. And I feel like it turned into that. I started looking at it as a diet, as this is something I'm going to try before I decide to go have another weight loss surgery. And I got to do this before I turn 30 because I haven't done it. And I don't know if I have the same heart issues in my line that my dad has and my grandpa had. He had a heart transplant,
Wow.
when he was like 52, 54, something like that. And so for me, I was like, I don't have a choice. I have to do this. And when I tried it, and it changed my life in ways I unexpected.
Yeah, it sure sounds like it. I can hear that passion coming straight through the Skype line.
Yes, it's real. It's real. And I feel like a lot of other people, when they get going into it, feel that way too. It's like, I used to say to my friends or my cousin, we'd get together and I'd say, can we just talk about keto? I just love keto. I'm like, it's so crazy. You have to do it. And I realized that, like you said, some people, it's like, they'll do it when they're ready. Let them see what you do and the benefits that it has for you, and it'll speak for yourself. Because I've had some coworkers that started it because of me for the same reason. They've seen me right before their eyes drop 130 pounds in 18 months.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's so much weight to lose. I have a guy that I was coaching for a long time, and he was in the 500-pound range. And I tried so hard to get him to go keto, and he needed surgery, and he was just so big, and I could not get him to budge. And this was years ago that I was working with him. And the crazy thing is he's still big, and he's just getting older, and quality of life is just going down. And
I know.
It's heartbreaking, So, question for you. So I want to give wisdom to our listeners, and everybody does keto a little bit different. So why don't you tell us about like your tracking, net carbs, total carbs, fasting, all those juicy details.
Okay. So when I first started, I had no idea what I was doing. So I decided that and because I had that goal of getting under 300 pounds before I turned 30, I said, I have to track because I got to be on point if I'm going to do this, because I had a big goal and I was determined. I decided I was going to just do it, and I went for it, and it happened for me, but I tracked. So I made sure that I used like my fitness pal. I tracked. I kept it to like 20 net carbs a day. And I ate when I tried to listen to my body, eat when I was hungry, and not eat when I wasn't. And so I would eat, a few meals a day, kind of like your normal thing that, on the average diet you do. But as I went on, I started noticing that I wasn't as hungry anymore. And so I kind of started hearing more because I follow other people on Instagram, and I see what other people who had been doing it longer are doing, and I heard about intermittent fasting, and I started looking into doing more research on it, and I realized, this is kind of something that I'm already doing but not intending to. So then I started to be more intentional about it. Mm-hmm. So I started with doing like 16 and 8 window fasting, so I would not eat. I would fast for 16 hours. I would eat within an 8-hour period. So I started doing like a lunch and a dinner. So after that, I kind of started shortening that. And then I started doing like an OMED thing. So 1 meal a day. And so now I pretty much just eat one big, delicious, fatty keto meal a day. I have dinner. And it works for me. And then I've also started recently trying some like extended fasts. So I started with like trying to go, a certain amount of hours. I did like a 24-hour fast. I did a 48-hour fast.
Now, when you did those, did you have just water or did you have any MCT
I would do water with electrolytes.
Okay.
Is what I would do. And I would supplement with salt when I felt, things like headaches. I would drink a lot of water, but it's mainly just water. I'm not a big coffee person.
I don't think we can be friends then.
Coffee for me, I've always thought of it as a treat. And so when I met Bulletproof Coffee, because you can sit there and kind of spruce it up, I fell in love with that. Yeah, so I just do water pretty much, and I make sure I get my electrolytes. I will, so I have like tried doing like taking like a magnesium and potassium supplement like people do when they're trying to avoid the keto flu in the beginning, to kind of help with some of those, symptoms. But yeah, so
how did you feel when you did that for so long?
It's crazy because you think that going that long without eating, that you're going to feel all this hunger. For me, the hardest parts were when the family was eating dinner and your body is thinking, okay, I usually eat at this time. I would just avoid the kitchen. I'd go take like a bath or something. But other than that, like my body would feel full. It was like it was feeding itself. And so like what I think of is with ketosis, as you're burning fat, when you're not having fat in your stomach, that is just burning the fat on your body. And so I feel like my body was, I didn't feel hunger.
Okay. Well, that's why, because your body was burning the fat on your body for fuel.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering what else you felt. Did you feel more energy, mental clarity? I mean, I've heard different stories.
Yes. Yeah. I would, definitely felt, just, I don't know, like a clearer mindset. I just felt, at the times when I did it, I felt like I could keep going.
Okay.
It was like I had this goal in mind of getting to this far, and I was like, well, I guess I could keep going, but since I said I was going to eat, and I had this planned, and these ribs are thawed, I think it's time to eat.
These ribs are thawed. That's funny. I love ribs. I always make my family the regular, like I make this homemade barbecue sauce, but for me, I just do a dry rub.
Okay, yeah. I found some sugar-free barbecue sauces online that I've ordered and tried, and I enjoy it. And I just kind of dip them, and I just kind of look at like the serving size, and just kind of dip.
Oh, okay.
With my dry rub.
Okay. Yeah, I've never tried that. You know what else tastes good on ribs, believe it or not, is wing sauce.
Okay. Like buffalo wing sauce?
Yeah, because there's no sugar in it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I might give that a shot. You know what? But I don't know. People might judge me, but sometimes I eat mayo with my ribs.
Oh, I love mayo. Have you ever tried that Chipotle mayo by Primal Kitchen?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I have not.
You've got to try it. It's the best thing ever. So Primal Kitchen makes Chipotle mayo. You can find it, and my regular Nob Hill grocery store has it, so maybe yours does, hopefully.
Okay, yeah.
It is the best because it's got a kick. So I use it to mix with tuna, or I'll do like sardines, and I mix it with tuna or a burger.
Spruce it up a bit.
And it's got a kick.
It takes something simple and elevates it.
Yes, it's so good.
I like that. I'm going to try it.
Those are the salad dressings I buy as well because they're made with avocado oil instead of like canola and soybean oil.
Which is perfect.
Oh, and they're delicious. And all of a sudden I seriously stocked up. I bought a ton because everything was on sale at my store.
Oh, nice. I love that. I love like when I go to a place and I see like ribeyes on sale for like a unbeatable price. I'm like, yes.
Yeah, or when they put that special sticker, $5 off, because they want to.
Yes.
The expiration date is like tomorrow.
Like, thank you, because I'm going to eat all of this bacon.
Yeah, that's funny. So, what is your favorite meal? Like, if you had one favorite meal, what would you?
One favorite meal. I'm a big fan of cheese, and I've always been like a big red meat person. But I think that I make like a cream spinach that I pair with my like a ribeye steak, and that's got to be, and maybe like some sauteed mushrooms on the side, like sauteed and some like grass-fed butter. Beautiful.
Yeah, I love sauteed mushrooms.
Me too. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
Okay,
and I put a little bit of Parmesan bacon on top of my cream spinach, and it's delightful.
Okay, will you share the recipe with us?
Absolutely.
For the cream spinach, or whatever recipe, like for that meal, or
yes,
so that they can come and get a fun like little thing. But I've never made cream spinach. I've just made sauteed spinach. So
it is my favorite thing in this world.
Okay,
in this keto world.
I'm going to try it. I have some challenges. Like, I love learning new recipes, but I get stuck in ruts, so I need motivation to get out of my rut.
Yes, I got you.
Cool. So what advice, Brooke, would you give somebody just starting out on keto?
I mean, for me, I think that because keto is such a lifestyle change, and you're going from, eating things that, like bread and things that you've always had, things we were brought up on, that you're making such a switch that I think that a lot of people think that they see people do intermittent fasting. They see people, killing it in the gym. They think they got to try to do it all at once. And I think that when you're making such a big switch like going to keto, that just focusing on food and conquering that first is essential. Like setting a goal of, okay, I'm going to relearn how to eat. And I'm going to do that first. And once I do that and conquer that, I get to set a new goal for myself. Maybe I'm going to start incorporating a little bit of intermittent fasting. Maybe I'm going to learn a new workout routine. But I'm going to focus on the food first and then do that. And once you conquer that next thing, well, then you got to level up and you got to add something else in. And so for me, that's how I've lost 130 pounds. I focused on food first. I waited until I lost almost 80 pounds before I actually started working out. And then I started trying the different things like going to Zumba, and I found a passion for that. And so it was like, I didn't do it all at once. And I think that when people try to do it all at once, that it becomes overwhelming. Don't overwhelm yourself. That's the bottom line. Do not overwhelm yourself.
Yeah, that's a good way to say it. And I love Zumba, by the way. I used to teach it.
I love it. Did you?
Uh-huh.
I love it. I love it. I have a passion for it. I do it about 2 or 3 times a week.
Yeah, I used to love it. And then one day I dislocated my knee in the middle of class. Like literally everything came apart.
Oh no. Oh no.
I know.
Oh no.
So there went Zumba.
No. Oh man. Yes, it's become my happy place, which I would have never imagined that before.
Yeah,
so
fun.
I was too petrified of the judgment that would have been put on me for even trying Zumba. But one thing I realized from going and doing Zumba is that like literally nobody cares. Nobody cares if you're the biggest girl in the room.
And you're just
everybody's focused on themselves.
Well, even as an instructor, you are so joyful to see somebody making a lifestyle change.
Yes. It's like motivating to that other person to say, wow, she's out here at, killing it. And I'm over here and I got to step it up because look at her changing her life.
Yeah. Have you ever seen that Lucille Ball, like little GIF or GIF? I don't even know how you freaking say it, but the little Lucille Ball.
I say both ways.
That you see like Lucille Ball and it says, everyone has a friend like this at Zumba and she's totally doing the wrong thing. Have you seen that?
I haven't, but I need that GIF or GIF in my life.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to find it and send it.
Yes, because that was me in the beginning. It was like, I'm just going to go here. And I made sure I brought my mother-in-law with me the first time I went. And we went and we had fun. And it was like, then I felt the confidence. I remember I used to get so upset with my husband about we were going to be late to Saturday morning Zumba. I didn't want to go if we were going to be late because I didn't want to be judged as the fat girl walking in late because I thought everybody then would be looking at me just because I was walking in late. And now I'm like, whatever, front row, right next to the instructor, that's me because I'm just going to kill it and do my thing.
Oh, I am so happy to hear that. I just think it's so fun, and I miss it. Like, I would love to go back, but I'm just so afraid of my knees. You know, I'm 53, and so now I know that my body likes to move forward, not side to side.
Yes.
You know? So,
yes.
So we've talked about a lot of different things I like to go on. How about last question? Did you hit any tough spots?
For me, a tough spots as far as like, I've hit some plateaus. I've had some times where I had like the holidays and I kind of fell off the wagon a little bit with keto and kind of indulging a little and, you know, trying to have balance in my life. And so sometimes I feel like people struggle getting back on keto after doing that. And so I had kind of found some ways that work for me as far as like upping the fat and not really worrying about portion sizes when I'm trying to get back into ketosis and just listening to my body and going back to eating when I'm hungry, not eating when I'm not. And when I'm craving things like sugary or bread, or I want to go to Arby's and get that French dip, I just decide I'm going to put some cheese and some bacon and some sour cream on top of some pork rinds, and I'm just going to eat fat and kind of get back into ketosis. And as far as like those plateaus, I kind of just learned to trust the keto process because I've seen it work. But in the beginning, that was tough because there's times that you run into, like, am I doing this right? I'm not losing weight. And you kind of start to freak out, and you got to listen to your body, but trust that keto process, because I've went 3 weeks and not lost a pound and hovered between the same 2 or 3 pounds. And then the 4th week dropped 7 or 8 pounds all of a sudden, or noticed as I was going that maybe the scale wasn't moving, but these clothes seemed to feel a lot smaller. And so just realizing that it's not always about the scale. It's about finding those moments and celebrating all those non-scale victories. And that's how I feel like I've gotten through those tough times.
I love that, what you just said, that word, non-scale victories. I always like to pull those out of people because, you know, so many people, we call them health seekers, but so many people, they're seeking this new life, and it always begins with the weight loss because that's what they can quantify so easily.
Yes, it's tangible.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's nice to hear you say that.
I completely agree. Yeah, the non-scale victories for me is where it's at. It's like being able to put on a pair of pants that I bought that, you know, maybe didn't fit me and now they do. Or, you know, being able to all of a sudden now I can cross my legs. I couldn't cross my legs before. I could not. My husband does not have to tie my shoes for me anymore. I can tie my own damn shoes. Look at me. You know, it's like celebrating those moments. And for me, it's like those are the moments that tell you, keep going, keep going. And so I think it's important to celebrate them.
And we didn't even talk about and hit on the example that you're setting for your children.
Thank you. Thank you. Because that was one thing that before I was worried about, was, you know, just like being that mom. I was afraid of the day that my children would say something about my weight, or, you know, just, I just feel like I have to set this example for them, because I would eat fast food almost every day. And it got to the point where my kids were asking, or my son at the time was asking, you know, about McDonald's or whatever for dinner. And it's now he's asking me, are you going to Zumba tonight? Is tonight then your gym night? So for me, it's been such a transformation, and I'm so happy that I'm able to set that example for them. And my daughter, Riley, she is my keto baby, because she's the one who wants to sit there and eat the cheese and the bacon. And she truly is my keto baby. So she would be the easy one to kind of switch over there. But I've considered putting them on it. I think that I'm glad I found it right before I turned 30, and I can't imagine if you're starting when you're, 2 and 4 years old, the benefits it could have for you.
Yeah, I mean, because so I raised my kids on fast food and kid cuisine. I always call it like Tony's Pizza, mac and cheese, chicken nuggets, all that
Yeah.
garbage.
I just feel like that was how everything was marketed to us back then. Like, that's what we were fed on.
Yeah, and then I started studying nutrition in 2007. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I doing to my children?
Yeah, yeah. I had that same moment. There's a better way, and we found it.
Yeah, that's good. And now your kids are little, so you're not having to break their bad habits, which is super cool.
Right.
Yeah, that's good. So what's next for you, Brooke?
So what's next for me is, I'm gonna keto on. I love this lifestyle. I cannot imagine ever going back to my old lifestyle. So I'm going to continue on my keto journey. I recently started a blog and website that I just launched. I'm kind of working out the kinks right now. So I'm kind of going down that road, and I'm looking forward to kind of starting some keto coaching. I'm thinking about taking on some people who I get a lot of questions from people about that. And, as somebody who's a teacher, I naturally kind of am inclined to try to help people. And I just feel like, I don't know, I kind of feel like it's my calling.
Aww,
I feel like it's something I have kind of struggled with this my whole life, and I finally conquered it. And I want to pay it forward.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do.
Well, you have a lot of experience to share, and, there's lots and lots of need for coaching and helping people with their health as you look around you,
Absolutely.
So what is the name of your new website?
So it's brooketo.com. So it's BROOKETO.com.
I love that name, by the way. Burrito. It's
Thank
like
you.
burrito, burrito,
Thank you. I figured I'm Brooke. I do keto. Let's just smash it together, Brooketo.
Yeah, I love it. You need to make a keto burrito now.
I love that.
Yeah, make a recipe and send it to me, because you're going to be the Brooketo burrito.
I love it. I'm on it.
Hey, so basically, where can people find you on social?
So on Instagram, at real.brooketo, same spelling. I'm on Pinterest with real Brooketo with no dot in between, and then real.brooketo on Facebook. And I am looking forward to kind of trying to pump up a YouTube channel. I've got it created, but I'm gonna start putting content on there, such as, product reviews, tips, recipe tutorials and stuff like that. So that'll be coming, and I'll be sure to post that on my Instagram when that's up and going.
Perfect. Yeah, that's a good place to be, is YouTube.
Yeah.
I don't like pictures of myself per se, because I feel like I'm always making a silly face, or I don't know. I don't like myself in a picture, but I like myself on a video. Isn't that weird?
I can see it though, because that's like a frozen moment. It's just that one, but you can see personality in video.
Yeah, I just prefer it.
You get more of a, if a picture speaks 1,000 words, then a video speaks 1,000,000 words.
Yeah. And then you get the, the quirky personality piece and the facial expressions, instead of just that, okay,
right.
I'm going to smile. I hate my nose. I hate my teeth, but it's okay. I'm just going to pretend.
Because you can sit there and you can stare at it.
Yeah.
And you can pick yourself apart. And we're our own worst critic.
Totally.
And so we sit there and pick ourselves apart in a video. You don't see all that.
Yeah, totally. Hey, well, listen, it was super wonderful talking to you, and I just want to thank you so much for coming on, and make sure you send me over some pictures and all that.
Yes, I will be sure to do so. I really appreciate you bringing me on today. This has been awesome. I love everything keto, so just telling my keto story has been fun. So I really appreciate you giving me this opportunity.
Oh, you are so welcome. It was my pleasure. Was that motivating or what? Thank you so much for listening. I just got so much information from Brooke and I'm so inspired by her awesome success. And for complete show notes with links to her social, you can head on over to bewellbeketo.com. Thanks for listening. Have a great day, guys. This podcast contains the opinion and thoughts of its host and guests. It is intended to provide helpful and informative material on the subjects covered. All statements made on the podcast have not been evaluated by the FDA and are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. If the listener requires professional assistance or advice, please contact your personal medical doctor. Both host and guest specifically disclaim any responsibility for any liability, loss, or risk, personal or otherwise, which is incurred as a consequence directly or indirectly of the use and application of any of the contents of these episodes. Like I said, this is my opinion and I could be wrong.